Hey everybody, it's Beth Helvey with Couture Real Estate. I hope you're doing well today. It is Monday, May 3rd, already a new month. One of the questions I get asked a lot is about purchasing, writing a contract on, and closing on a property. And do you actually have to be here in person? No, is the short answer. A lot of people are doing this right now, especially since the market is moving so fast, and especially since people tend to move here. We don't get a lot of people transferred from one house to the next here. I mean, it happens, just not that much. So if you're comfortable with this, there are a number of ways that you can view a property. We can send you a video, that's possible, or you can FaceTime a video if you have an iPhone and your agent or myself has an iPhone. You can FaceTime, and the nice thing about FaceTiming is if you see something interesting, you can say, hey, can we go take a look at that and we can move a little closer or whatever. And there are people who are doing that if they're comfortable, if you're the kind of person that actually feels like they need to be here, they need to walk through the rooms, and this is not for you. The other thing is too, is yes, you can most certainly be anywhere in the world and write a contract. It's not hard. There are a handful of electronic signature platforms that can be used, that you can send contracts and pretty much any kind of form to, and anybody can sign on it. And it is considered legal. Closing agents, attorneys accept it, and it is just fine. You can even send your pre-approval. Typically speaking, your lender is more than happy to send it to your realtor. And you can send a proof of funds that way too, because you do need to have both those things to put offers on properties right now. Now, do you have to be here to close? No, you don't. We do a lot of that here in this area, especially since we're considered a second home market, and we call them mail-aways. I know it's a very simple term. Basically, what happens is this. If we know that you are going to be a mail away, we need to know ahead of time because there's preparation involved. Things need to be finished at least 3 days prior to closing, especially if you have a loan. And if we don't have enough time, you may have to push the closing date out a little bit. Let's say you're going to close on a Friday. On Wednesday, your closing agent will FedEx you the documents you need to sign. They'll mark everything up. I've had closing agents even get on the phone with buyers and sellers and walk them through the whole thing while on the phone. If you need a notary and you don't have one, you don't know how to find one in your area, your closing agent can usually find you one. You can go to a bank or something like that, but they could usually find you one if you need help with that. And there's traveling notaries. There are notaries who, for a living or as part of what they do, they will travel to people's houses, to people's businesses and things like that and act as a notary. What happens is, so then you'll get it on Wednesday, okay, or Thursday morning. You get the package, you do all of your signatures, you put everything back into a provided FedEx envelope, and you have it in the box by Friday morning, or excuse me, by 5 o'clock on Thursday night. That way, everything arrives back to the closing agent first thing on Friday morning, and they will just conduct the closing. Oftentimes what happens is that you won't have a set time that your closing agent will conduct the closing. They're not going to make you an appointment. What they're going to do is reserve those physical appointments for people who are going to come into the office and have a physical closing with the closing agent. What they'll do is they will do your closing in between appointments. And they may not know exactly what time that is until Friday, because appointments move around, people run late, there's an issue with a walkthrough, things happen. But what they'll do is they'll get it done in between appointments. Oftentimes what they'll do is they'll send a blanket email out. They'll send it to me, your buyer agent, or your listing agent, and you as well, saying congratulations, we're closed. They'll include a PDF of your closing documents in there, and a lot of people like to have a hard copy. They'll also put a hard copy in FedEx to you or the mail and send it off to you. And it's that easy. You don't ever have to step foot in Florida if you want to buy a house. Now, if you're the kind of person, like I said, that really, really feels like they need to physically walk through a house, they need to feel the house, then this is not the way for you. You know, you can do the contract from afar, you could do the closing from afar, but you probably need to be here to actually look at the properties. And I get that. A lot of people are like that. But if not, yes. I mean, I've got a couple customers that we are looking at a very specific property and they're like, just do a walkthrough for me. Because the floor plans are all pretty similar. We're basically looking at the view and the finishes. So, and everybody's different how they want to do this. So if you have any questions on how buying from afar or even selling from afar works, let me know. Just put it in the comments or send me a DM, and I'm happy to answer any questions you may have. If you have any questions on real estate in general, do the same thing. Throw it in the comments or send me a DM, and I'm happy to answer those questions. It is basically summertime. It is in the mid to upper 80s here, and warm and breezy and sunny and beautiful. It is why we live here. I hope you have a wonderful day. If you have the opportunity to get some vitamin D, I encourage you to do so. Wear your sunscreen and drink a lot of water, and I'll talk to you later. Bye, everybody.